race is on in the Sam F. Davis Stakes.
Holy cow. Classic Causeway wants that lead.
Yeah, he caught a flyer. Little Vic definitely not sitting mid-pack.
No. They send Little Vic, so it's Little Vic and Classic Causeway to the corner here.
And didn't you say, Mike, that Victor Martinez said they were not going to send 13 and everybody laughed because that's the only chance he had of winning?
Yeah, they said that they were going to try and rate him mid-pack. I mean, this isn't as fast as what I expected. I mean, I thought there was going to be a hot pace. Well, 22 and 3, never mind. That's very fast for this distance at this age.
Make It Big is in a nice spot. 3 wide.
Right now, I would want somebody about 6-7 links off this thing.
I mean, Golden Glider sitting in a nice spot. Chipsational sitting in a nice spot.
Yeah.
Kitten's Mischief
10 Volcanic.
in a nice spot.
Volcanic's going to get a good run here.
This is going to be a shit show, I think, in the stretch. This is going to be nuts.
24 flat.
You mean Kitten Mischief is just going to win by 8? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, he's getting the trip if the horse is good enough.
I mean, this would be very impressive if Classic Causeway is able to go on with this.
Well,
there are a lot of horses going up and down right behind him, though.
I was going to say there's not a lot.
Who's moving?
No. Somebody has to catch this horse, I would think.
Golden Glider looks like he's trying and he's stuck. You got to get around.
All right, corner turns the corner, got the lead. Who's going to come get him? Anybody?
Anybody?
Whoa.
Bueller? Volcanic's trying.
Yeah, Volcanic's making his move. He's got
Classic
horse.
Causeway's
Wow,
all over.
Classic Causeway just gone.
Wow.
How
did he do
huge
that?
effort. How the heck is that horse have that much left?
So look at the internal fractions. Quarter to half, 24. Half to three-quarter, 25. And then 25 and 1 from three-quarter to the mile. So they actually went slow.
He came home in 6 seconds, though. But
you said, how did he do it? He went really slow until the end.
I'm impressed. 111 and being able to come home like that. There was no one that was making up any ground behind him.
I'm super impressed with that. I mean, everybody was just like, okay, who's going to come get him? It could be a situation where there's nobody very good behind him. But like I said, he kind of galloped away when they asked him to go towards the line there. That was shocking. Not that he won, but how he won was crazy. I don't think anybody thought a gate to wire winner was gonna win this race with a 46 half.
No.
Well, even going in, I mean, when you had the Paco horse, the 13, when he drew in and Howling Time backed off, I was like, okay, there's even more pace here. So, it felt like we were going to get a pace collapse, and we just kind of had a collapse behind the 3 horse instead.
I mean, watch that race, and how good is that Kentucky Jockey Club now? Right? Classic Causeway comes back and airs. White Abarrio looked great last weekend. Smile Happy, we're going to see, we just saw was in the pre-entries to be down at Fairgrounds. I mean, that race is coming back stacked.
Yeah, the 2nd place, the 4th place, and the 7th place winners.
Call me Midnight in the LeCompte, yeah.
All winners back. And the horse that beat them by multiple lengths runs a week from today, and we'll be on live covering that one for sure. So that's pretty unbelievable. And guys, the Kentucky Jockey Club, it's never a good race, right?
No.
And now it's like the best. It's unreal.
Oh. I'm blown away that he was able to go wire to wire against that. Especially with Little Vic firing on the outside too. I mean, it's not like he had no pressure over that opening quarter either. You're right, Magic. They obviously did slow down a little bit the 2nd and 3rd quarter, 24 and 25. But I thought that was more due to the early pace and he was getting tired. And he opened back up. And it's sneaky. That last 16th of a mile, running that in 6 seconds. That's really impressive. It meant that he was slowing the pace down, but he had something left there. And that's why he was able to open up on that field. I'd love to know what the last furlong is because it looks like he's slowed down, but I bet that last furlong is still 12 seconds.
Yeah, I didn't mean to poo-poo on it to sound like poo-poo. You were just simply to say, well, how was he able to do it? And that's how a lot of Bob Baffert's best horses run, is that they go fast early, establish the lead, slow down on the backstretch, they catch their breath, and then they've got that ability to kick home. So I thought it was very impressive as well. For him to do that with the 13 pressing and to be able to kind of still slow things down a little bit was very good. If he has more of a pace presence from a horse that's tougher than the 13, do you think he still runs away as well as he did? Do you worry about him when he faces more stronger pace pressure, Aaron?
No, I don't, because that horse was right next to him. And, you notice the horse that was right next to him was nowhere to be found when the real running began. So, no, it doesn't really bothered me, like he was inside of that horse. That horse was pressing him against the rail, and he still was able to do it. I mean, even though that horse may not have been very good, it's still a pace pressure, and they were still going fast, and he was still on the inside of that horse. So very, very impressive to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't usually love this race from a prep perspective either. But that was nice. That was a very nice race. We have a lot of speed that's signing up for this Derby, though. As you see, kind of these horses we talked about, Charge It, obviously, who just won, who's very much on the front end. Emmanuel's been on the front end. We have obviously this horse here, Classic Causeway, who's on the front end. It's going to be interesting to see how the actual Derby shapes up, because it seems like a lot of the top contenders are all going to be toward the front end. Sets it up for someone like White Barrio, right, Magic, who's going to sit right behind.
I'd love that. I will say, looking at who Classic Causeway beat in here by quite several lengths in the stretch, second and third place are both stakes winners. Shipsational won a couple of New York breds last year. Volcanic is a stakes, was a grade 1 place or grade 1 attempt horse as a maiden. But Strike Hard was fourth, and Strike Hard was second in the Mucho Macho Man Stakes. Won by Simplification, who we talked about the Holy Bull from a week ago. He looked very impressive in the Holy Bull despite that poor break. So I think that this further pushes, not just the Kentucky Jockey Club because of White Barrio and Classic Causeway, but Simplification I think looks really good because Strike Hard was able to get fourth out of this one. Strike Hard to me is very much a sprinter and shouldn't have gotten fourth against these horses.
I think we're also seeing the East Coast start to make a statement here. Obviously we saw Messier, who looked great out in California, but outside of Messier, I don't really want anyone from the West Coast right now. I think this is going to be a heavily East Coast biased crop. And we last year we talked about how the West Coast was clearly the best coast and how that California circuit was best. Florida is really showing out here with some of these horses that you're seeing down there and how they're doing well when they're facing other competition as well. So right now, I think the East Coast is way ahead of the West Coast, even with or without Messier. I mean, it's Messier and nothing else right now on the West.
It certainly seems like even if you want to throw in Newgrange, I don't think he's great, but he's okay. And like you said, when you take the Baffert horses out, there's absolutely nothing on the West. I mean, nothing. And that's usually how it is, but it is like dog shit nothing on the West this year if you take his out. And right now his is out, So I think Fairground Circuit and down in Florida, that's the two to look at. Oaklawn doesn't seem to have much either. Those horses are bad, those local horses there. So I totally agree.
I know one thing's for sure. I'm extremely excited about the Risen Star Stakes, which will be next week. We've already got the entries out, as Mike said, and Aaron was talking about. Smile Happy. The Kentucky Jockey Club is a 2-year-old prep races. That looks like the best race, and we thought maybe the Holy Bull was the best prep we've seen so far from the 3-year-olds, but the Risen Star, this might really be an extremely important race. We're going to have you covered at racenews.com with the inside track to the Risen Star Stakes wagering guide. Everybody from the Racing News team, including these two guys right here, we're all going to be putting a lot of work in this guide, covering every race in full detail on the Fairgrounds card. It's a really awesome night. The Rachel Alexander Stakes for the fillies going to the Kentucky Oaks is in that card as well. So make sure you guys go to racenews.com. Hit like if you like the video. Hit subscribe if you like it. Tell all your friends. We'll see you at the track.
This has been a presentation of RacingDudes.com, your destination for all things horse racing and sports betting. Whether you want free winners, expert insider picks, up-to-the-minute trackside weather reports, or podcasts and videos for bettors of all skill levels. Never make another wager without visiting the Racing Dudes first.